my crafting friends, so good to see you. It is Angela here on this lovely Sunday. I hope that you guys are all well and ready for a little bit of crafting time with me today. So as I showed you at the end of my last one, I've got a really quick and easy project that I want to share with you today. I'm going to use a backing sheet that I gave as a freebie a long time ago, and also some book pages. So we're going to do that with our little project today. Now I'm working on the wildflowers theme, and I have these beautiful flowers that I did as one of my first digital kits, which was my floral fussy cuts. And because I love nasturtiums, I thought I would use those today. So we're going to make a little envelope, really easy, a lot easier than it seems. And we're going to put in a window. We're going to do everything from scratch. We're going to decorate it on the front, and we're going to decorate it a little bit just on the flap at the back. All right, so I hope you're keen to follow along with me. You can do this, and I know you can. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, I think it was July last year, so a year ago, I did this freebie in my Facebook group. So it's scanned copies of 2 collage pages. This is the peachy one, and I've got a more pink one. And those are available in my files downloads on my Facebook group. And if you haven't got it already, go and have a look there. So we're going to use this today. Now, all I did was I've cut this in half, so really effectively. Oh, I have printed it on both sides. That's not a must, but I have. You want to just fold that in half like that and cut it in half, which I have done. So that's what I've done here, and I've just got 2 pieces, and I'm going to show you now how to fold that. I have taken this about 3.25 inches off from the bottom, and I have folded that up. So that's what we're going to do there. We found the bone folder downstairs, so I just want to do that. I do want to just take 1/4 inch at the top here, and I'm just going to fold that over as well. The reason I do this is just to reinforce this edge. You would hate your envelope to tear if you were trying to get something in or out of it. So that's the reason I do that. So yeah, I hope that you guys are enjoying making your journals. I have some exciting things that I'm going to share with you next week, so do stay tuned when I get those all finalized and together, along with my website, which I will be sharing with you next week as well. Right, so we've got that bit folded there, and now we want to fold the top bit. I'm going to fold it, I first folded it and then I thought, no, that wasn't enough. So let me just tell you now, this is 1.25 inches, so that's 4 centimeters. So I'm just gauging it here. There's no hard and fast rules with this, you know, so just do as you feel. It doesn't matter if you use an A4 or US sheet of paper. It's marginal, the difference is not going to have a big impact. All right, so I'll make that one later. So we've got that far so far. We're not going to glue that yet. I want to just get my book page up to the same position. So I've taken 2 pages which I have just torn out of my book page, and effectively it's almost an A5 size, so that means it's almost half a page. So I'm going to trim it a little bit, so it will be, I've just folded that up. So yeah, you're just looking at about 3/4 inch. So first thing I want to do is take my glue stick. This works for any book page. This is an old novel that I've read a long time ago, and no good to anybody. So I've just decided to use the pages. Now, did I go all the way down to the bottom? I can't remember. So you just want to put your glue stick. Now I use 2 pages. It gives you much better firmness, and we're going to cover a large part of this anyway, so you know, you're not really going to see anything. It's going to be all prettied up, let's say. I don't understand why I can't find them half the time. Right, so we're going to start with this side. I want to just neaten this up a bit. And I'm just gauging this. You can just use a pair of scissors and trim yours off. So you just want to get that trimmed off there. Like that. Just pull the bin out a little bit further. Right, and then on this side I'm going to just trim a little bit down here, and I'm not worried too much because I'm going to fold this over, but still I want to just take off a fair amount here. Right, so there's that, and then we can start doing the same thing. So let's just get it more or less the same. Now first we want to fold this bit over, so I want to just get that folded over, and then we can just stick that down. Again, that's going to give us a nice firm edge there. So there we go. And stick that down. Okay. Should be more or less the same. Yeah, slightly longer, but that's all right. I'm going to now do the same. So with that bit there, you're looking at 3 inches. So let's just, and I'm really just guesstimating. Love a bit of guesstimating, nothing wrong with that. All right, so we've got that bit there, and then the top here. Wrong top, Angela. I wanted that one. Okay, so we wanted about there. So let's just get that straight on that line, and then we can guesstimate a lot better. I do recommend this board, it's really amazing. Right, I've been up since 6:20 this morning crafting. I went to bed, I was so tired last night. I was asleep at 8:30. That never happens to me. But I had a good night's sleep, a good nearly 10 hours, and I got up at 6:20 wide awake and decided, right, let's get crafting. So I've done a whole nother project, which I'm going to share with you on Tuesday, and now I'm busy doing this one, which is fun. I've wanted to do this for a while. Okay, so we've got both in the at the same point, at this point. And now what I want to do is I want to put in the little window. Now what I'm using, and Vanessa always laughs at me, I've got a few of these Plum Boutique cards, and I love these because they make the perfect shape for windows. Now I do have a die cut machine and die cuts, but I'm going to go with this. So if you've got a die cut that's in a rectangular shape, go for it. We're going to turn this over to the front, so that's why I haven't glued it yet, like that. And we're going to place this where we want it. So I'm going to put this over here, and again, we're just guesstimating. So I'm going to have a little bit of an edge there, and I'm going to hold that. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to just draw around it. Now you can draw it on the underside, but and this is going to take a lot of work to get around the edges. So if you feel more comfortable doing it with a square, it will be easier to cut. But you know, there's nothing like a bit of a challenge in our day. So there's the one. Give a nice great window, and then over here I'm going to do the same. So I'm just getting that like that. Let's move that up a bit. Okay, yeah, and then we're going to do the same over here. All right, so if you've gone anywhere over the lines, just take your eraser and rub it out. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to use my knife, but because I like to try and save the edges, the inside bit that comes out, for like a little tag or something at some point. I'm going to just carefully, I've got a blunt blade, so we're going to do it with a pair of scissors. Now I'm going to do the same with this one. So I just want to make a little slit with my knife. Hopefully it's not going to tear my paper. Alright, so there, that one is usable, as is the other. If I can get the scissors off my hands. Okay, so we've got our 2 bits there. I'm going to quickly just put on some distress ink, so I'm not going to bore you with all of this. So I'm just not really needing to do it there because we're going to cover up there, but this is your opportunity just to do it there, but also a little bit just inside there, like that. Alright, so the other thing that we want to go and grab is a piece of packaging, which I've got on the other table there. So I'm going to grab that quickly and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so I've just distressed it and I've cut 2 circles there with my corner punch. Now, if you don't have a corner punch, remember that either your distress ink or your Plum Boutique will work as a great template to round the corners there. So if you've got one of those, or like I say, you've got a bigger rounder edge there, or a smaller rounder edge with that one. All right, so that you can just draw with your pencil and trim with your scissors. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to put in the little windows, and as I said, I've just grabbed a piece of packaging. So this is from one of my Sizzix things, really, that new art one, and this is perfect kind of stuff for making windows here. So what I'm going to do is, to make sure I get the most out of this, is I'm going to trim this as far up to the top as possible, like that. And then I'm going to, because you've got a double layer here, I want to just measure where I need to be with this. So I've got sort of a ½ centimeter all around. I'm just going to use my pencil that way, and I don't want it to exceed too far, so I'm going to cut it up there, and then where the pencil mark is, straight across. Okay, now you're easily able to make another window out of that piece, so I'll keep that. So then just separate these like that. And the same with this. There we go. We got 2 windows from something that you would have thrown in the bin. And I don't think this is recyclable either. So, you know, you're doing a great favor. Right, so we're going to take this, open that up nicely. We want to put some glue on the end here. Don't go too close to the window. I make that mistake every time. And then we want to just lay this over on the inside there like that. And then we can just push that over and run our fingers around there. Okay, and the same with this one. Okay, so there you go. You've got your windows on like that. So that's easily done. Now, if ever you need a window envelope, you know how to do that now. And you can do it with old book pages. You can do it with floral book pages. That will look beautiful. Or you can take standard book pages, and we're going to add prettiness to that. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and sew all around the edge here. I'm going to close, well, I'm going to close that and sew around the edge here on both of these, and I'll be back with you here in a mo. All right, so I have just stitched around here, and sometimes you get that bumpy stitching, and you just need to take your bone folder, and I'll show you how effective this is. You really don't have that problem for the underneath side. So if you have a look at that now, it's much better. All right, so just do that for both of yours. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put some decorations on here. So the first thing we want is a little, I think I'm going to put on the flowers. So I've got my little tray here of what I want to put on. So I've got my nasturtiums for each of them, and I've changed the background flowers. These are available, as I said, they're my fussy cut flowers. They're in my shop. Then I've got one of these that's also one of the fussy cut flowers. I had this lying here for a while, so I thought I will use it. So I'm going to put that one underneath, and I'm going to put this one, I just angle it, and then I'm going to put this one over it like that, I think. And then with this one, I managed to find a thistle. I'll have to trim the thistle, so I've fussy cut that out. I thought that would look great because we've got all these wild flowers. I want to keep in the theme of that. And then I think I might just tilt that over slightly that way, and then like that, and then we'll have the nasturtium like that. So it just means I need to cut that off over there. So we'll do that quickly. All right, so we've got that bit there. These two we won't need. So let's just stick this down. Oh, I must tell you, I've been watching while I craft. I like to have the telly on sometimes. I mean, I love my audiobooks, but every now and then I get sick of listening to a book and I think, okay, all the book's finished and I've got to wait for a credit. Then I'll watch, not really watch, but more listen, listen and watch to some of the TV programs. My favorite one at the moment is something I've never watched before last week, and that is the Sewing Bee. So the British Sewing Bee, I don't know if you must have heard of that. Obviously you will have if you live in the UK. And I've thoroughly been enjoying it. So I must say, I highly recommend it. You get to really love all the the individual people taking part. And I think I'm on to series 8 already. That's how much it's been on. Not just this week, to be fair. I think I started it last week, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I just let it play while I'm playing around here with my own paper. But it has made me have a look at my sewing skills. I mean, I am quite good at sewing. I did do a sewing course years ago, but I've always been a sewer before that. And yeah, it just makes you wanted to go and sew. So I've been sewing a lot of paper more than normal, you know, the usual things that you get up to. I don't think I'm going to be able to save that one too well, so I'll try. Right, so it doesn't matter that your flower is going to go onto the window. I think it gives it character. So yes, if you haven't seen the Sewing Bee, go and check it out. It's some lovely presenters and quite a bunch of comedians in there, but you know, just love it and love seeing what they do. And yeah, it's given me a renewed interest in sewing. So yeah, I was tempted to go and make some clothes for myself, but I don't know where I get the time. But yeah, it's funny how you latch onto programs. I don't know if you guys do that and you like something and then you've got to watch the whole lot. I think that's what frustrates me about TV, is that when they do a series that you've only got like one episode at a time, and it can draw you in, and then you've got to wait a whole week, and I'm not very patient with things like that. So yeah, so the Sewing Bee, highly recommended. I wish I had time to do more, but I don't. As I said, I was up at the crack of dawn doing my other project. Yeah, I just love my crafting, and thank goodness sewing's a part of that, so we can't go wrong. I've done a bit of sewing on the edges of these envelopes, but you don't have to do that, as you know. You know, not everyone has a sewing machine. You can just stick the sides down on the inside there. That would have been fine. I didn't sew this one around the edges. I just stuck it down. So, you know, it's not everything. You don't have to think, oh, I can't do that because there's sewing involved. Don't ever think that. All right, so we've got this other nasturtium down now. and I quite like that. We'll put some of the little paper ruffle on there. So I've got this paper ruffle, and paper ruffles, I've made one with the stripy fabric paper, and I don't know where I'm putting what. We'll see. Do we want that one there? Do we want that one there? I want that one there. Yeah, this one's, I think I'm going to put this one here. So I'll put that one there and that one there. Should have done two of those. Oh, I wanted to show you how easy that is to do. So I've just torn a strip of paper. It's 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeters. I sort of round the corner there and then I just tear it straight off. This is a shorter version of what I've done. I tore the whole strip, and then you just take your fingers and pleat it. And I usually just push my finger in there to bend it, and you're pressing it down. You can make those as wide or as narrow as you want. All right, so go and do that all the way, and then you can either stick it down with glue just in that section, or you can stitch it. That's up to you. All right, so I've stitched these, and I do like using a load of scrappy bits and things. I've grabbed the scraps of little lace bits that I'll show you in a minute. You know, it just gives me some kind of satisfaction to use things that would otherwise not be used, so for some reason. So there we go. And we are going to put these both in. See, I found in my little pile on my table, I scrounged around. So one is a bit shorter than the other. It doesn't matter. You'll see why. We're going to put something on top of that as well. Okay, so I've got one here and one there, and I'm not going to worry about the edges or anything like that. I'm just going to get it stuck down, and then I'll show you what I did with that bit. Again, pleating, but I sewed that by hand. And I'm going to just get that peeking over a little bit, like that. So we do that for both. Okay. There we go. And then what I did was, to put that in the cradle, I've taken some sari ribbon and I've done the same pleating, except I took my needle and thread, and as I pleated it, I sewed on a button. I folded over the top bit just to give it a neat finish, and that's what I've done there. So it's just a case of taking this, fold it over, gives you a nice neat edge. Then you're going to pleat it. I sewed on a button, pleat it, and sewed on a button. And once you sew the button on, it holds it in place. All right. So we're going to put that one over there. How cute is that? And gives it some nice dimension as well. So, and just press that down. And you can put your clips on it just to hold it in place. All right, and then the same with this one. Let me just stick that down there. Okay, so all that we need to put on the front here now is some buttons, which, not buttons, butterflies. So I've got those two there. Look how lovely that's coming along. Any scraps of fabric would work as well, so don't feel you have to put on those. And I've just cut out 2 butterflies here. Just want to just dress the end of the wings. So I quite like these. These you can get in any of, well, a couple of my kits. I think the wildflower kit, the mini kit, I think my sunflower kit, and also as a pastel butterfly kit if you don't have those. Right, so got to have some pollinators, and been adding to them recently, so yeah. So I'm going to put that there. It's going to cover that white bit. Oh, I forgot to do the antenna, so let's just lift those up a bit and get those glued. Right, I didn't cut them off this time. I'm feeling a bit bad about cutting off the antenna. It's just so awkward to cut out. Right, so it's going on that white spot there. Happy with that. Right, so it's coming together. All I want to do now is the last little bit. I'm going to turn these around, and we're going to put on some, I've got some embroidery on glaze. I got this from Plum Boutique. It's a lovely cream color. I might need to just trim it a little bit, so we want that there. And you know, I'll use that for something, so it's going in my little box. And I get the greatest inspiration from those little scrappy bits, you know, so I recommend you hang on to those. You never know. Right, so we want to just glue that over the top there. We're going to glue that there, and then I'll stitch the other on top. Beautiful in your wildflower journals. Just get that there. Move that over a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to just go and stitch this on the edge here, just a straight stitch, nothing fancy. So I'll be back here in a moment. Okay guys, so I have just stitched that across there. You can see straight across, not the straightest line either, but it's the underneath, you can't see. And then that will eventually lie pretty flat, being in my book, and I just like how that sort of pretties that up there, and love this. So there's our little one there, and there's this little one here as well, and I think those are going to make beautiful little additions. Here's the one I made before. So gorgeous little additions in our wildflower journal. Now I just did get a couple of postcards from my kit, so I've just backed those onto backing paper. And yeah, this will look absolutely stunning in here, so that'll peek through our window as well. Look how lovely that looks through there. So perfect addition. And here's another one, another little journal card or postcard type thing, and this will look lovely in this one. So we've got our two options here to go into our journal. All right, I hope you've had fun with this. Please go and give it a go. Go and look for book pages or this freebie in my Facebook group. Grab some flowers. You can cut them out of books. I have a digital if you don't have any books. Grab some scraps of fabric and make something pretty that you can put into your journal. It's fun and really easy, and I know you're going to enjoy it. All right, have a great rest of your Sunday. If you're having Sunday dinner, enjoy it. It's a bit muggy here today, so we're not going to do that. But I hope to see you very soon. Next week's going to be an exciting week. Lots of things to share with you. So stay well, and thank you for all your kindness and support. You know how much I appreciate it. See you all very soon. Bye-bye.